Welcome to cycle tracking. In this video, I'm going to discuss with you why to track your monthly cycle and the benefits of doing so. Now, throughout the whole month, we go through different phases within our monthly cycle. And throughout each of those different phases, we feel different energy and we experience different feelings and emotions, and our body goes through different physical, emotional, or mental changes. That is why it is so important to get in touch with ourselves, to see where our strengths and our weaknesses lie, and how to best utilize that energy. I will be creating some form of a diary and journal to help people track this at some point. If you want to be kept up to date on that, please drop me an email at thelarawayoflife@gmail.com or drop in the comments. And also please feel free to share in the comments how you do track your cycle or if you found this information helpful. So throughout the month, as a woman, we go through firstly on menstruation. So if you're tracking, day 1 is basically your first day of menstruation. Start from there and follow the rest through to track your cycle. So yeah, day 1 of your menstruation. Usually people's menstruations will last, 1 to 7 days. Again, these are guides. Everyone will be slightly different. And that is also known as your winter season. I've done videos on that too, the different seasons. So please check those out. And that is your point where your hormones and energy are at your lowest. That is your time for self-care, alone time, reflection, receive your guidance, and have your physical release of what is no longer serving you from that month. We're lucky we get to have that release. So during that time, it would be worth noting, whether that be in a diary, or some people like to use apps, or it could just be on a calendar. You don't have to have anything too fancy, but yeah, log your day 1 up until the day then you stop bleeding. You could note things like how heavy your cycle is, different feelings you get, whether you're bloating, your cramps, you're in pain, your emotions. You make notes of those as well, because that will help you monitor and look at what days you feel it worse, what days are heavier. It helps you to be able to plan around that as well. So if you know your cycle, your period is heavier on a certain time, you know probably to make time to where you can rest and stay at home then. After we go through our menstruation, we have what is called the pre-ovulation, and that is your spring season. And that's usually around days 7 to 13, and that's when your estrogen and testosterone start to rise. You have more energy, your mood is lifting, and you may find planning and creativity and goal setting a lot easier during that phase. So again, if you track it then, that's a great time to do more, or to plan, or to use the guidance you received during menstruation to start putting some of those ideas into practice. You're going to feel better in yourself. So if you've got to plan certain things or activities, that'll be a good time to do so. By also tracking your cycle like this, for those that follow maybe a natural fertility plan, like you can see where your peaks are, where you're most likely to ovulate or be able to get pregnant, or if you don't want to get pregnant, to use contraception at that point, or not to have sex at that point. So it's another great way again to check in on that. And I also find for people's mental health as well, because so much of our mental health is actually connected with our monthly cycle, and through not having knowledge of that can make us feel like we might be feeling worse, or we have certain conditions, whether it be depression or anxiety, personality disorders, etc., things that affect your mood and your mental health and well-being. Whereas when we actually begin to start tracking our cycle, you could see actually maybe they're in response to certain things your body is going through, or to your hormone levels, or to changes that you naturally go through as a woman. And it's then realizing, right, now I've got this wisdom, how can I use that to better manage my energy and my time? So it's a really, really powerful tool. That is why I encourage everyone to begin tracking their cycle. So after pre-ovulation, you go into ovulation, which is around days 14 to 21 roughly. And that's when your hormones and energy are at your peak. You feel your best, social activities, going out, planning trips. That is your time to do that. So that is what we also call the summer season. And the summer season, yeah, that's generally where you're going to feel your best. And I always find it hard as a woman, like we probably only have like 1 week a month where we feel really good. And also by doing this, you can then see that is it internal factors that are affecting maybe your mood or your well-being or your mental health, or is it external factors? So if you can track, even if you start doing 1 month, 2, 3, and you track your cycle so you can see, right, I feel my lowest then, I feel my best then you can monitor the external factors, like if you're going through an external stress or relationship problems, breakups, work-related issues, you can see how then they're impacting you as opposed to what you naturally go through in your body and your cycle every month. Again, a really powerful tool because it allows you to see, actually, this is where I'd normally be feeling my best. However, this factor or this stress or this person is causing me these problems right now. So it's not, say, internally you, it could be your circumstances or situation or the people that are making you feel worse. So that, again, is really powerful to be able to separate the two. After ovulation, we then go into our premenstrual, which is the autumn season. And that's again where the estrogen and testosterone levels start to dip. Progesterone rises, the PMS, the cravings, the pains can begin. And you may find that you want more alone time then. But again, everyone's different. So it's important to write down how you feel through these different points, what's happening on each day of your cycle. And then it's powerful as well because you can see what your regular cycle starts to look like. And then if you notice your cycle changing, if you're having a life change then, or you're on a different path, then yes, sometimes your periods can be delayed or come earlier or sooner because maybe you're going through a transitional phase in your life. And I also connect this to the moon and the cycles and nature on my channel as well. You'll see that I'm just sharing this knowledge with you guys because knowledge is power and it helps to learn these things. It's a great tool and asset. And I can personally say by me tracking my own cycle, it has really helped me connect to my mental health more and to see where actually there might be slight highs and lows within the cycle and the month, and that's normal. And then when the external factors kick in and I'm reacting to external things that are maybe out of my control, so it really helps me have that awareness. You can also plan your exercise and your diet around it as well, because knowing when you'll have more energy or less energy, you can plan your exercise accordingly. And also when you'll be more or less hungry, and then the foods that you need to eat as well during those different points in your cycle. This is an amazing, powerful tool to track your cycle. And when we say the cycle, it isn't just the menstruation. That is important to make note of, but it's your whole cycle throughout the month. So as I've explained the different seasons that you'll go through. Now, some people may refer to those as well as the menstrual phase, the follicular phase, the ovulation phase, and then the luteal phase. However, those words for me don't kind of come out as naturally. I do prefer just keeping it as menstruation, pre-ovulation, ovulation, and then premenstrual. But it's whatever works for you. But getting in touch with those, log your dates. As I say, menstruation starts on day 1. So track your cycle. Everyone's will vary slightly. And remember, getting in tune with yourself is an amazing gift to have and gives you power and knowledge of your own body. So guys, I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.